Hi everyone, Sid here back again for another shaving rant. Ooh, I'm bald again. I don't know if I mentioned this explicitly, but in the winter months, I like to let my hair grow in because I'm a really chilly guy, and having a bald skull all the time kind of sucks in the winter. So I'm happy to be back to what I consider my real self. And today's lather, I'm going back to the essential oils, so I'll be supplementing it with tea tree oil and lavender, and the aftershave will be Pro Raso Blue. So for today's video, I would like to, I'm basically going to combine two of my previous videos because this is something, it's a question I'm about to share with you that I don't use as much as I'd like because I don't get into these conversations as often as I'd like. But I think it's really interesting, and it can lead to some really interesting conversations when it's done with compassion and done the right way when discussing the ideas of liberty with a socialist. If you didn't know, I live in Montreal, in the Montreal area, and Quebec has a lot of socialists. And I often find myself talking about the ideas of freedom with socialists, and something that I often encounter is, you know what, before getting into that, I just want to say the first part, and you'll probably be able to see where I'm going just with these two, but I want to remind you of the previous video I did on the mirror test. Two contexts where I like to use the mirror test are when someone advances a rule of behavior upon me. That's when I say, oh, this rule that you care so much about, do you conform to your own rule? And the other one is when someone makes sweeping statements about how humans are in general, whether it be the human nature, human condition, or anything like that. I like to start by examining both myself and the person who's making that statement. So, an argument or a statement that I encounter pretty often when discussing the ideas of liberty with socialists. I'm pretty sure this would happen no matter what, but there's so many socialists here in Quebec that it's often the conversation that I find myself having. And actually for reasons that I just recently was pointed out to me, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of socialists in your area too. I think the world is generally trending a bit towards the left, but that's neither here nor there for the purposes of this video. So, a statement that I often encounter when discussing the ideas of liberty with socialists is we need to have a welfare state because without compulsion, no one would help out the poor. No one would help out the poor voluntarily. And that's why we need the state, because helping out the poor is so important that we need to force people to help them out, because or else no one would. And a question that I like asking, not necessarily right away, but throughout the conversation is, how many causes that you believe in do you donate to? Now, the reason I put it that way is because really what I'll get into what I was going to say a bit later. So the premise that this statement rests on is that people don't voluntarily donate to things that they care about. I don't think that it's I don't think it's a question of nobody cares about the poor, because I think that I'm resting myself on an assumption that these people that say these things, or that say this, have spoken to enough people to know that everyone cares about the poor. As I mentioned in my video on the poor, it is almost always the number one question that's asked to me, either directly by saying, but what about the poor? Or indirectly by saying, but without a government, only rich people will have access to XYZ service. I'll be right back. So when when someone is talking about how no one cares enough about poor people to help them out voluntarily, which, as I just said, rests on the assumption that people don't really care about stuff enough to help out financially. That's when I try to hold up the mirror test through that question. Like, and what I find interesting is that, because really, when we're talking about how people don't care enough to help the poor out voluntarily, that's really a mirror test that you want to fail. And when I found myself asking this, when I ask someone how many causes that you believe in do you donate to, the first three words that I hear are almost universally, well, you know, well, you know, blah, 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 I'm not that rich, blah, 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 zero. So it's kind of funny to me when I ask this question and I hear the person say, well, you know, and I'm like, okay, goose, lay me that big fat goose egg so that we can continue having a conversation. And honestly, it's, how can I say this? So yeah, that's what I do when I ask that question. When someone says, I'll skip the statement and go right to the premise. So when someone says people don't care enough about things to actually voluntarily fund them, through that question I say, oh, you mean people like you? And with one exception that I thought about while driving home last night, the answer I always get is, yeah, people like me. So I think that it's an important, oh shit, I nicked my nose. I think it's an important question to get into, because it's kind of win-win for the poor, in the sense that if someone's telling me about how people don't care enough about shit to voluntarily fund them, then I hold up the mirror and I say, how many causes do you believe in that you donate to? And the person says, oh, 3. Well, then you're your own counterexample. And if the person goes on that long rant that begins with, well, you know, blah, 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 nothing, then that sheds light upon the fact that if you want that to change, start with the person in the mirror, start with yourself. And one thing that I really want to point out, and I think this is really important, when I ask this question, the actual causes themselves are irrelevant. I really don't care. It could be the Red Cross, like I think it was the Red Cross that she donates to. This one exception that I encountered, and it could be something that helps the poor directly, like the Red Cross. It could be something that's not related to the poor. It could even be something that I would consider stupid, like I don't know, the coalition for plastic checkered flag poles for NASCAR flag wavers to stop them from getting shards in their hands from waving those wooden poles when they're waving the checkered flag. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that I want to find out when I ask that question is there anything that you care about enough to actually do something about it in the real world? And yes, I wouldn't necessarily restrict that to financial donations. Even if someone said, oh, I don't donate money, but I volunteer at a soup kitchen down the street or whatever, I would totally accept that. The real thing that I'm trying to find out with that question is there anything you care about enough to actually do something for real, be it through your time or your money or or something like that. I'll be right back. And I was thinking about it while lathering up. Oh shit! And I just lost it again. That's embarrassing. So really, I think that the importance of asking that question can shed light on the person's own behavior, and that's why from there, when you ask that question and get that person's answer, either way you're a winner, and either way you're helping to bring awareness to how you really don't need either you don't need coercion to do this for reasons I got into on my video on the poor, or you can whoa shit. Or you can shed light on how that person can be the change that they want to be in the world. Listen, I think I'm rambling enough. I'll just finish this pass real quick, because I don't want to get into the ending sequence that I do to my videos with my face half lathered up. I'm at least going to finish this pass, but I'll apply all the aftershave and shit off camera. So thank you very much for watching this video. Again, I think that when you're communicating these ideas with people who aren't necessarily on board, it's important to be empathetic, and if you ask this question to a person that proceeds to say, well, you know, and lay that big fat goose egg, that if your reaction is something like aha and chastising the person, I don't think that's the most effective way. But to just point out how through voluntary association, and to just start being the change that you want to be in the world. The fact that so many people ask about this, if everyone participated, and even you don't even need that many people. If most people, if enough people, that critical mass did it, these problems would be solved. And as I said in my video on risk management and the poor and stuff like that, if it's done in a proprietary way, it would be that much more effective, because you're not creating this permanent underclass, which tends to happen under a welfare state. And just to provide a bit of transparency, a little bit, because as I said before, I think that the causes are really irrelevant. But as far as the causes that I believe in, that I donate to, there are 4. If you count one-time donations, there are a bit more. But where I focus my donations is more on prevention rather than cure. If you want to do like my friend and donate to the Red Cross or whatever, more power to you. Who am I to tell you what to do with your money? But if you would rather do like what I do and focus on organizations that can prevent the creation of poor people in the first place, that's what I prefer doing. But again, I think that no matter what it is, just find something you believe in and do it. And if you can't do it, help fund people who are doing it. And I think that will be enough to make the world a better place. So thank you once again for watching. I'll apply the aftershave off screen. So please like, share, feel free to leave any comments under this video. You can subscribe to me on YouTube, and on Twitter I'm at SidRockMTL. Links to all of this under this video. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you in the next shave. You take care.